What's up, baby dolls? Thanks for tuning in to the Look What We Found podcast. My name is Daniel, and I'm here with
Louis.
Mariano.
And welcome to the show. We're back, baby.
Welcome to the show, and before we get started, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button.
That's right, baby dolls. We got a special guest, Mariano. You guys know him well. You've heard him on the show before.
Yeah.
Handsome as ever, beautiful beard, beautiful hair. Best man at my wedding. We got to give it up for Mariano.
So many things.
By the way, tons of material on the podcast. I talk about this guy like all the time.
Yeah, you do.
A lot of times I don't say his name, but if I say it's a friend, it's usually him, guys.
And then the latest, if I'm not mistaken, is the death curtain. We were talking about the horses.
Oh, that's right.
That information came from him.
Can we? Okay. We had a show
recently,
and I said I had a friend that went to the Santa Anita racetrack, and then I said, "Well, it's fine." Yeah. And so is there really? I told him there was a curtain that came out.
Yeah, there's a curtain of death that comes out, and so it ruined my racing, spectating forever with my family because the horse died during a race.
Is it an actual giant curtain that they roll out, or what does it look like?
It looks like a big rig trailer in the back, and they bring out this big curtain that surrounds the whole backside of the horse. It covers the whole thing, so nobody could see it from the track.
So it just covers the horse.
It just covers the horse. It comes out on the field, covers the horse. People are freaking out. Nobody could see. And then even the replay, they don't have time to stop the replay. So you actually see when the horse goes down and they replay it again. They're like, oh, there's a replay. And like, oh.
Okay. For some reason, I thought I thought there was this giant curtain that they rolled out in front of the view of the audience. But from what it sounds like, it's more like the Karate Kid shower curtain just around the horse. And do they kill the horse right there?
I think they kill him right there.
That's do you hear obviously it's not a gunshot, right? It's like an injection or something? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's an injection because you don't hear anything, and then it's just gone. So it comes out, they surround it with that curtain, and then it's just gone.
See? Trick. Right from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. And it happens a lot more than you think.
Oh.
Yeah, I've only been once or twice to the track.
And you know what's funny, man? We discussed this. And you said, imagine if you were an NFL player or like some sort of football player. I believe that's the analogy you used. And I think that same week or within a week, a football player passed. Well, he died on the field. They brought him back.
I heard about that
from the Bills.
Yeah, he just passed, and they didn't have a playoff game as a real. The Bills and Cincinnati Bengals, they didn't even play. They just didn't have. It
was
game.
Right at the beginning of the game, and then I thought about the death curtain. That when I saw that, I was like, "What the fuck? We just talked about that."
Right? They didn't put him down in football, but
you might have to sometimes. But bring out the curtain.
But horses, it's like they're no good for anything now.
Yeah, straight to the glue factory.
Yeah. I was thinking about, and I know we're past Christmas, well past Christmas, but I was thinking about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer for some reason. And I was singing the song in the kitchen, and the song goes, if you don't know it, that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a very shiny nose, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so naturally, the other reindeers made fun of Rudolph because he had a really shiny nose, and they wouldn't let him play in their reindeer games, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then Santa, in the song, makes him head reindeer, and then he guides the rest of the reindeers during Christmas. Mm-hmm. Now, after that, in the song, it says, "Oh, how the reindeers loved him." But don't you think the reindeers would make even more fun of him?
Oh, because he's a teacher's pet now?
Because Santa, you're going to guide Santa's sleigh. Yeah. Like, now he's at the front of the pack. He didn't even pay his fucking dues. He's the new reindeer on the street. Mm-hmm. And now they're going to try to make us believe all the reindeers loved him? I don't fucking think so, dude.
No, I think they reluctantly followed him. That's for sure.
They didn't have to. They're chained together. They're tied together in a formation.
And for those of you that say, well, no, they're not human like they're reindeers. Fuck you, that's what I say, because they were treating them like shit just like we do to each other.
Exactly. If the social dynamic is the same as we're making it out to be, I just don't know that they would welcome Rudolph in right at the beginning.
No, I think they'd be hating on him all the time, talking shit about him. Oh, look at that red nose. I'm sure it's brown underneath.
Brown-nosed reindeer up fucking Santa's skirt every day or whatever.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I mean, what's next, Rudolph? What are you going to wear?
Yeah, because Santa has a skirt, so you know.
But I mean, that song would really suck, right? If they did it your way, Daniel.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so go ahead, Louis.
I have an article, but I did want to tell you guys that I realized that, you guys always tell me that maybe I do have an anger problem. And I think I confirmed it this week.
Okay, good.
I went to see Megan, the movie.
If you don't know that, I don't know if Louis has.
It's not an anger.
He has an anger problem in a different way than I have an anger problem, right? Like things like cutting him off on the freeway, that type of stuff, right?
Just if I feel disrespect.
Yeah.
That's when it kind of triggers it. And that's exactly what happened yesterday.
Like Joe Pesci. He's like,
yeah, it's something
don't
like
disrespect
that.
me.
Where I went to see Megan.
Get your fucking shine box.
I went to see Megan, the movie, right? And if you guys don't know which one that is, it's about a doll. It's kind of like Chucky and Child's Play or whatever you want to call it. And this doll is like a robot. It's a new toy, and it kind of has a consciousness, and it gets super attached to the kid that it's synced up to. And I don't know if you guys have seen it?
Megan? No, I saw the
previews.
Okay, previews.
So
Looks
I
creepy.
mean, without spoiling anything, it's exactly what you would think. It's like, who the fuck designs this toy that could be so dangerous? And whenever somebody hurts the kid that she protects, well, she takes it way too far. But then I go eat dinner, and I go to a Korean barbecue spot, and then the hostess right off the bat is a fucking asshole. And then we were like, oh, I think we're like fourth in line. We checked in on the phone because it has a long wait. And then she's all, it's showing me that you guys are 13th. So if you guys don't mind waiting outside. All right, fine. And then by the time from her little fucking podium thing to the door as we're walking out, the thing updates and it says, now we're second, dude.
Okay.
So then I go back and I go, oh, well, it's showing us that we're second, not 13th. And then she goes, yeah, it just updated. I was like, what the fuck? But aside from that's not something that merits death.
Okay.
But then she was just being such an asshole about things like, yeah, scan the QR code and then wait over there. Like, I was like, okay, dude, they don't give menus out anymore or whatever. And I was just telling Jasmine, I was like, dude, if I had a fucking Megan, this bitch would be gone tonight. And then the waiter came and there's lights on top. It was just a shit show that night, dude.
Yeah.
And he hit with his head because he was a tall guy. He hit the light with his head, and then he goes, fucking shit, man. And then he doesn't apologize or anything because what happened, it's not because he hit then he leaves the light flickering. So now we have a fucking full-on rave by on top of our table. It's just going. I fucking get up like an asshole. I use my flashlight to try to fix it, and I do think, but it took me a second.
Yeah.
And then I was like, fuck, this guy just left, dude. And then I was like, once again, baby, if I had a Megan, he'd be fucking gone too. And then I was thinking, don't make those toys. I can't handle a Megan. I would have killed my neighbor already.
Yeah.
I would have anything, dude. You guys better watch out. It's a slippery slope for everybody. But that's what I wanted to say, that I think I confirmed the fact
you
that
felt it burning inside.
I just felt like
happened?
The guys are right. The guys were right. I think I have this. I need to like suppress it more even. And there's no way, if that technology is available, that people like me should have it.
Yeah, I agree, dude. I feel like I always like try to not blow up at people, you know what I mean? And it just never fucking happens. I just like, it just always seems to come out. Like I was telling, man, before you got here, I just went fucking crazy on these people I don't want to talk about, but
But
I don't know what's worse. I don't know what's worse.
No, I think yours is better.
Well, the thing
because it's just like you release.
You think
you release.
Okay, you think it would be like that.
Yeah.
You think like, I'm gonna fucking tell this person how I feel, and you just release it, right? Yeah. And the anger within you comes out, and you like put it on someone else. But what comes with that?
Yeah.
What comes with that is all of the adrenaline, the cortisol, and the hormones that you get from that state of rage. and then you're elevated
Mm-hmm.
for it depends how good at being angry you are. I'm not very good at it, you know?
Who is?
So then you're just angry and like you just keep playing the scene over, and for me it takes a long time for me to come back down to my normal level, and I'm like, was that even worth me doing that, you know?
Yeah, it just triggers something and just keeps going and building and building. And then you let it out and you're like, I'm fucking still mad. I still want to fuck this person
It almost
up.
makes you angrier sometimes.
You think?
Right? Yeah.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is, do you know if you've held something in and then something else and something else where you don't let it out? How you would? I mean, it could be worse, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, sure.
You know, you never know.
Sure. I think maybe that's the problem, is that you hold it in for too long and then it explodes out.
Yeah.
Rather than saying it initially, right? Like, this lady's a bitch for number 13 and number 2. Then she's a bitch about scanning the QR code. And now this guy hits his head, and now the light bulb's flickering. And then now this stuff is like building, you know what I mean?
And I didn't let it out, you know?
Yeah.
And then I think I would have used Megan. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But let's get into...
Maybe we should get the robots. Or the
then
dolls
it's just
or whatever.
fucking my robot against your robot, right? It's just...
I kind of like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah.
But I know that it's going to lead me to
you need one, you know?
Oh,
You're
you
like,
think? Okay,
yeah,
you think the
you're like,
opposite.
oh, fuck
Fuck it.
this.
Then maybe I'll
all
do
the guilt,
it.
all the guilt goes on the
robot.
robot
Then it's
for
not-
doing
it's all-
whatever.
it's not
Hey,
in
that
your
wasn't
hands.
me.
Yeah.
I fucking robot. Robot's too good.
I just updated the software. You know how it goes.
You know how it
it's
is.
always glitchy at the
Fucking
beginning.
firmware.
Monterey.
All right, guys. I have one that's super interesting to me, and I wanted to see what you guys thought about this. So the headline reads, scientists have made a breakthrough discovering that aging could be reversed in mice in a new study. Their next step is to see how it could apply to humans.
Okay.
Okay?
But does it say in what regard does it reverse the aging? Does it, like, on the external, does it get rid of the mice wrinkles on the forehead, or does it regrow their balding head, or is it inside, like it's repairing that part?
It's on, I think, this particular one, it seems to be a little bit of both. So, for instance, it says that in Boston labs, old blind mice have regained their eyesight. So that's great, right?
The fucking 3 blind mice got to know about this
There
shit,
you go.
dude. Get them on the phone.
And they also, their muscle, much healthier now, and younger brains. So it's like an internal thing. And then also kidney tissue. So a lot of the
Wow.
internal stuff, right?
But they're not blind anymore?
It's it's saying that
That's
they
incredible.
regaining their sight. So I'm assuming
I
that
wonder
they're
how
not
often
blind.
mice are going blind here. I thought it was just that nursery rhyme.
Right? Is there an epidemic of blind mice that we
Right.
don't know about?
They were trying to warn
I
us
know,
with that
dude.
song.
Yeah, I'm like,
I
what's
didn't
that
even think
noise?
about
He's hitting
that.
the door. Oh,
Yeah,
he's blind. Just
Fucking
let him
3
in.
blind mice. Let them out of the door.
But
Give them that pill.
is this something that you guys would actually do?
Oh, for sure.
You would.
Yeah, I would do it.
Yeah, getting old sucks.
Yeah, it's not a fun thing, you know?
It's all.
I'm trying to figure out the benefits. There's the benefit of wisdom, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely just wisdom.
That's
probably.
about it.
Yeah.
Is
I don't
the-
see anything else getting
is the-
better with
yeah.
getting older.
Well,
Well, how far
Actually-
back? Obviously, and it does
or
mention
we could
something
just
that
freeze
they
it
could,
right here. That'd be fine with me.
freezing it right here. I'm cool
yeah,
with
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, this is good.
This is good.
Yeah, I don't need to,
I definitely don't want to be okay, I can reverse my aging, but my mind will stay the same as far as what I've learned.
Oh, you mean not lose your memory?
Right.
Yeah, I don't.
They're just not wiping me to be a
No,
young
it's just
person,
it
right?
doesn't deteriorate. It does. You basically you don't fucking fall apart, dude. I don't think you lose your memory though.
Okay.
It's like
So
I'm not young and dumb. I'm young and
Yeah,
wise.
I mean, at one point you have to stop, right? You have to stop going back to being so young.
yeah.
I would assume
you'll
you
turn
don't
into
wanna,
a baby.
Yeah, that's the thing,
Like
dude.
Benjamin
The
Button.
Yeah, and it does say the Benjamin Button effect. Scientists can reverse aging in mice. The goal is to do the same for humans. The experiment shows aging is reversible, a reversible process capable of being driven forward and backwards. So,
Forwards too. That would suck.
yeah,
Oh my
what the fuck
God.
are we doing? And you're like,
20-year-old looking like you're 60.
Wow.
Yeah, there's no benefit in that. I
but
don't
let's
think.
just say that you want to do it, but Amber's not so inclined to. What do you do in that?
She would have to do it. She would. She knows I like younger women. I was like, this can't work with the same fucking age. Come on.
You'd be sneaking the pills in her coffee.
Yeah.
Take this latte, baby. It's all good.
Oh, Amber's 12 now. I'm like, yeah, you know.
You're like, damn it, I got to drop her off at elementary school now.
But she's hot.
Yeah. And then, do you keep your baby young and cute?
Oh, no. I don't think I would keep my baby young.
No.
I guess
Babies
the question
suck.
is, if you yeah,
It's not fun.
yeah, it's not easy.
It's not fun.
If you had access to the pill,
Yeah.
they're like, hey, dude, we got these extra youth pills, and you could choose one thing to reverse your aging, just one attribute. It could be anything. It could
Joints.
be
For
your
me, it'd
joints.
be like
It could be
ideal would be my mind, right? I don't want to lose my.
But right now,
Right now.
would you take any right now?
Right now.
I'm like trying to think.
We're all
what I
just
would
feeling
do.
the pain
Yeah,
right
well,
now. I'm
I feel
sore
like my
here.
joints, dude.
Yeah.
Like, not that I have a crazy problem with them, but like, you know, Daddy fucking stretches his hand and it pops sometimes on his elbow. So,
yeah.
like, shit like that, and then a whole lot of holding for people, mitts, and then throwing punches. It takes a toll, man. And I think I'd do my joints for sure.
Joints.
Right now, yes. In the long run, you ask me in 20 years, I would want to keep this brilliant mind of mine, but I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to, not know where the fuck I am all of a sudden, or forget my friends or my loved ones. So, in the long run, I'd say mine. But if you're asking me right this second, joints.
All right, Mariano.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat, because as we get older, that's the only thing that kind of hurts is just joints. You get a little more sore. You don't recover as fast anymore. But yeah, just you wake up
Mobility, dude.
sore and you're like, I didn't do nothing last night but sleep. But the older you get, you just feel more aches and pains and, joint stiffness and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, and it happens so gradual.
What about
Yeah.
you, dude?
I don't know. I'm trying to think about it. How
about this?
I don't know.
Would you rather look?
But I feel like I'm more vain than you guys. You know what I mean? I think I would want to be like, you guys have like, I wish I could grow my hair like I was a teenager. Like I would just have tons of hair like when I was a kid. I think I would do that.
Like a big fro.
First thing, yeah. Get Mariano hair, Mariano beard.
Okay.
The joints I'll worry about later. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Would you rather look young on the outside, but like your fucking inside be older, or vice versa? Look old, but just like crazy mobility, still young, muscles and
I think I'd be old on the inside.
Yeah, it's in line with what you just said.
Yeah.
I was wondering.
I just feel like you can get more things in life. You know what I mean? Because we were talking about that when we were talking about it was just you and me that did the show.
Yeah.
We were talking about, we didn't even put the show out, but we were talking about, there's this little, we might as well talk about it again. They're coming out with this Ecto-Life factory, or it's in the works, where you can basically grow your baby in a pod.
Oh.
So you can alter the genetics any way you want to.
Yeah.
So you can get rid of any birth defects. You can make it intelligent. You can make it as tall as you want. Whatever features you want, you can give that to your baby.
Yeah.
So we were trying to decide, like, if we had a boy,
Mm-hmm.
because we weren't thinking about having a girl, right? But we're like, if you're having a boy, would you make your boy like so fucking good looking that it was like ridiculously good looking, or do you think that would hinder him and the way that he would have to apply himself? Because super duper good looking people are often dead in the heart and personality because everything is fucking handed to them.
It's what I like to say to myself, at least, right? It's like, well, at least I have a personality.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
This guy,
it's fucking true, though.
But for the
dude.
most part, they don't have
to try,
because they don't meet that wall, right? You meet a wall where you're like, all right, like, fuck, I like her, or I think she's so pretty. So does everybody else in my classroom.
Right?
How do I stand out from everybody else?
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. Us three guys, we're all very short.
Yeah.
Chris is a little bit taller than us.
Yeah.
He doesn't really understand what it's like.
Just enough not to be short, For sure, he doesn't. I don't think anybody would call him short.
No, he's
No.
five. He's like 5'11".
5,
Or 10.
Was it
5'10".
average
something
height?
like that.
Is that supposed to be average
I
height?
think
Probably.
5'10" is average.
It's average.
We're
but
like
we're not
5. I like to say 8, but people laugh at me sometimes. I think I am, but they're like, you're 5'7". Maybe not. I think I'm 5'8". Maybe. I don't fucking know, but I don't want to measure myself. But
Don't.
you can't get the. It's just harder for us. If all of us were 4 inches taller,
Yeah.
we'd have an easier time doing a lot of things. Being an authority figure, getting girls, being a security guard, playing basketball. There's all of these advantages.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We could have been better,
At anything.
fighters, athletes,
Yeah.
whatever. So the question is, would you make your son a 10 out of 10 out of 10, or would you make him like an 8 or a 7?
And
Man.
whatever the answer is, why?
I think it'd be maybe like an 8.
An 8. I
You
think
know,
that-
because you don't want to just be really good looking and dumb and be dead inside, right? Because I think we've probably all met enough really, really good looking people where you meet them and you're like,
Mhm.
wow, that personality's not there. Because you realize they didn't have to have a personality because things were just given to them or people just treated them a certain way because they looked that way.
Mhm.
But then, they never really had to work as hard as
Exactly.
others, and have a personality.
And actually, Mariano came out with his own theory called the ugly duckling theory, I believe, right?
Yes,
And
that is true.
usually, when you meet a girl, and we might have said it on the show, but you meet a girl that is really good looking in her 20s or 30s or whatever, but she has an extremely good personality.
Yeah.
Lots of times, it's because when she was a kid, she was an ugly duckling, and then developed a personality out of necessity, and then blossomed in to a good-looking person.
Mhm.
So she took her personality with her into adulthood. You know?
That's the best, right?
You're right. It's the best of both worlds, but it's not common.
No, and I've met a few people that were like that they told me, oh, I was really obese in elementary school or high school, or yeah, I wasn't the popular person in high school. I was kind of a nerd and I was quiet. But they're like beautiful people later in college years because they just came out of their shell or they weren't, they did whatever over
They
the
lost
summer.
the weight.
They lost the weight.
They got their teeth
got the
fixed
big
or
teeth,
whatever.
That's the
hair.
best, dude.
And then it's like, well, they have a good personality because they're always nice to people because they were treated a certain way too.
Right.
But
Or
now they don't have that shit personality where like, oh, I expect this to be given to me or I expect, whatever because I'm so good looking.
third scenario, they were really abused as a child by their parents
God.
and made them feel super insecure, and they really don't know that they're good looking. That happens too sometimes. Or they just feel so bad about themselves. But you don't want those people typically. It's too many problems,
No, unless you like problems. Unless you really like problems.
Some people like problems.
Yeah.
Some people like
I don't
problems.
know, man. But the thing for me was like because you said if they're really good looking, they won't have any struggle. And then what I was just not arguing, but what I think that life gives you struggle, no matter how you look, how rich you are, how fucking poor. Life is a struggle, man. But if they're used to most of their life not being a struggle, when they meet
adversity,
the little resistance,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be tough for that individual. Even if they're a 10 out of 10 out of 10, life isn't perfect for anybody. So I'd want that my son to have a little bit more of a backbone than and not to say that a 10 out of 10 out of 10 won't have one, but chances are that it, probably won't.
Yeah, but you want to give them as many advantages as you can.
Mhm.
I just think that as you go through life, the older and older you get, the less and less people take you serious, the less employable you are. People don't want to be around you as much.
Yeah.
And it's almost 100% based on your looks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why I think I would just stay, because I would be just treated better as I
But
go
what
along,
about okay, what scares me a little bit is you guys seen the Green Mile, right? With Tom Hanks.
3 Mile. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Walking the mile.
Mark the mile.
And when we meet him, well, when you see him on screen as an old man, he's much older than you, and he's already old as fuck. He looks old as fuck, but you realize that he's so old that he's buried his grandkids, he's buried his son, he's buried his wife, and he's like alone, dude.
Right.
And I know that we're not going to age like that, but that means that if you stay young, and if it's only you staying young, let's just say that you are bearing your wife, your kids, your grandkids, all your friends, everything. It must feel it must be painful after a while, right?
Oh, yeah.
But you would still do it?
No, I was ready to die young. That's why I was only fixing the outside. You guys are the one that fixed the inside.
If we did. I don't think I would fuck with that, honestly.
Oh, you wouldn't take the pill?
No, dude.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so.
Even if you knew it worked with no side effects?
If it was to isolate something specifically, I'd pick my brain. And then
Okay.
as long as I don't lose my shit when I'm old, I think I can cope with the rest.
So the pill makes you live longer?
Well,
I thought it just made
It
you
reverses
younger.
your-
well, if it
aging.
makes you younger, it would make you live
So you
longer,
would just
right?
live a lot longer, right? I guess.
Yeah.
Oh,
Becomes
so
more
you wouldn't die of
expensive?
old age, because what would be old age? Heart problems or something like that?
Right, you could just make your heart young.
Oh. No, I don't want to live forever. That sounds miserable. Because then you
right.
see your friends die and you see everyone else die around
And let's
you.
just say
Right.
everybody's doing it. Now
Yeah.
we have a different fucking
Well,
problem, right?
yeah, now we have a problem.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
nobody dies.
Then no one's dying.
Everyone
Or
lives.
very, very,
Except me, but I'd be so good looking dying, it wouldn't fucking matter. You know?
really, really good looking.
Open,
Yeah.
open casket for
Open-
sure.
He's going to look so beautiful in that casket.
I would want to be like stood up, you know?
You got it, puppies. Whatever you want.
Wow, he looks better dead than alive. How is that possible?
He keeps getting better looking.
He's still.
Yeah. Amber's all shoving the pills in my mouth.
No, they got suppositories now. Whoa!
That's where the best man steps
That's my okay. So here's the thing, man. When's this shit gonna stop? We're gonna touch on this subject real quick. You guys know about trans things,
Trans
things, gender, trans,
fluid stuff.
racial, all the
Yeah, yeah,
trans.
yeah.
All
So
that stuff. I heard of it.
it can often lead to things like this. Now people are trans age. Have you heard about this, Louis?
in. Yes,
Okay.
I have,
So
and
I'm not going to read the headline just yet, but I do want to show you a picture of a person that considers, I don't know if it's a him or her, it kind of looks like a guy, trans age. And you can see this full-blown middle-aged male or female, and this person is in a dress and holding a giant doll
Mhm.
and has a pacifier in his or her mouth. Okay. You might think, oh, what a fucking crazy person. But here's the thing, man. The headline reads, trans age pedophile defends himself by claiming that he's trapped in a 9-year-old's body.
What?
That's part of the predicament, right?
This is part of the predicament with when we start doing this stuff, because like with the transgender, we have the athlete stuff.
yeah. Contact sports.
Contact sports, MMA. We have the jail situation where transgenders are going to, you might have a man going to a women's prison and then like fucking all the ladies and those type of issues that come with the trans movement. And so this is another one I think maybe will hit some resistance for the trans age people, as these people, if it's allowed that you can really be trans age, are you truly then a pedophile? When I mean they are, but do you know what I mean? Will that hold up?
Well, it doesn't hold up, I don't think, in the Look What We Found podcast courtroom.
The courtroom, it doesn't hold up here.
No,
we have our own
try
set
that
of
shit
laws.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
Take that to a different podcast. But, I
Anyway.
I heard something on that the other day. So what do you think, man?
Well, I think all this stuff is bullshit, but obviously this one is it can be very harmful,
That sounds even crazier, though. The age thing? Because now you could just make up whatever age you want to be so you can get away with, oh, I was under the age of committing murder. So,
Oh, yeah,
Right?
dude.
Yeah.
They can do all sorts. I didn't even
kinds
think
of
of that.
yeah,
All kinds of
underage for
things.
all kinds of
Yeah,
things.
yeah. And then here, I'm just going to read a quote from Stefanki.
Okay.
Stefanki says her adaptive family, which consists of an older couple and their children and young grandchildren, are completely accepting of her identifying as a little girl. She says she's living as a 6-year-old girl because it's something she could never do when she was in grade school. I can't deny I was married. I can't deny I have children, she says in the video. but I've moved forward now and I've gone back to being a child. I don't want to be an adult now. She further adds, I have a mommy and a daddy, an adopted mommy and daddy who are totally comfortable with me being a little girl. So I think an adopted mommy and their children and their grandchildren are totally supportive. A year ago, I was 8. So this year I'll be 9. Well, I don't mind going to 6. Anyway, I'm not sure. I don't think this is the pedophile in the picture, but I think that's just what she's saying there.
Well, obviously she had a lot of problems growing when she was little, because now she's living the life she said she couldn't have.
I know that kind of brings up more questions than answers.
Yeah, I don't know if that clarified anything.
Yeah, that just made it more confusing.
But it's the thing with me with all of these things is, where do you draw the line? I saw a clip online where one guy was debating a transgender woman, and he says, well, from now on, I identify as handsome and always correct.
Oh, yeah. I think I've seen this
something
one.
like that, right? And I go, well,
identify as always being correct.
or something like that. Yeah, so I'm always right, and I'm incredibly handsome, and that's how I should be. That's how you should direct to like any questions to me. Like I'm always correct. Or any kind of, anyways. So you can take that argument and just do anything with it, dude.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of fucked up, because I actually do believe that there's people that feel, because I remember being a kid thinking like, this kid is different, man. This, and then I think they maybe do feel like they should have been a woman or a man,
Sure, I think so.
But even with that, I think there's still, in my opinion, I think there's a danger and letting somebody compete in, like, say, combat sports when they're physically bigger.
Or there should be some sort of like, shouldn't there be some sort of like getting to that other gender?
And what you mean, like phases? Or?
Right. And is there some sort of like application you have to fill out, or person you have to talk to see if you're not full of shit and you're just, do you know what I mean?
No, of course, man.
Because right now it just seems like you say it and it's true.
That's the sad part, right? Because some people can just do it for satire, some people can do it because they're clinically insane, and
some people are pedophiles, some people are just trying to get into a different prison,
so
some people are just trying to go into a different bathroom.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't seem like there's any type of analyzing of these people where, like, okay, so you feel after staying, you're hearing with us is
you're
this
go
day.
See this doctor or whatever, and then you're gonna do this, and then you have to maybe at least some sort of barriers to make it a little bit more difficult. I mean, if this is gonna be a real thing,
Yeah, that's the sad part about the world we live in today. All you have to do is say it.
Well, it's just self-identity, right? They're just trying to figure themselves out, and they're just giving themselves an identity that they think will fit them, and they want others to just follow it. And yes, that's me. I'm a 6-year-old, so follow that. You have to change my.
It's it. It is. I say it, and so it is.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Anyway.
Yeah, no.
Not a popular opinion, but
no,
it is mine. Okay, you got something else?
No, I think.
Mariano, that's right.
Oh. Mine is 7-Eleven owner says he's using opera music as a deterrent against homeless solicitors. So there's a 7-Eleven owner in Austin, Texas, who's using classical music, playing it for 24/7, and he's been doing it for 10 days to deter his homeless people that used to hang out in his parking lot asking people for money.
So they have the speakers pointed outside, and they're playing classical music, blaring the classic. But why classical music? Isn't that a peaceful music?
Well, it said in the article there's a study done that's the most unappealing music is classical and opera as a deterrent.
Really?
And they even interviewed one of the homeless people that had the camp next to it that moved away. He said, yeah, it was horrible, obnoxious. I couldn't be in there anymore. And he took off. So it actually works.
Wow.
So
I feel that'd be the best music to be. If I'm looking for peace in a parking lot, and when I'm trying to choose a music, it's gonna be classical music, or opera music, like they played in the Shawshank Redemption or something like that, right?
Oh yeah, when they're like everybody just stops.
Yeah, that's gonna make me I just feel like dubstep, house, techno.
Oh yeah,
System of a Down.
Yeah. heavy, super duper rage metal, like the screamo stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I would play.
That's what I thought too. And then I was thinking about it, dude. That would work for people like me. And if you, because I had an issue at my old job where my office was like at the front of the building. It wasn't a big building, but it was still at the front, and we had a neighboring company where people fucking, for whatever reason, they love to come, walk over. They weren't talking on the phone in front of their office, but they were talking in front of my office, and I was right there, dude. And it would just be loud all day. If it wasn't one asshole, it'd be another one, right?
Yeah.
That's why I shouldn't have a Megan. But and I considered putting a speaker like out in the front or near the front door and just like playing something obnoxious. And the best thing I can think of is like System of a Down bounce, just like because I don't even like them, but I just remember I know that song annoying me. And I was like, so something like that, right?
What you gonna live on the table?
I do like System of a Down, actually. So I'd be outside listening to your.
Yeah, that's my point, though.
Like,
here we go.
Fucking down
you
right
would
here.
different type of guy.
Different type of guy. But then, if you pay that type of shit for somebody that's just always on the verge of losing it, like a homeless dude, it's maybe not the right move.
You're right.
Classical, because I was thinking the screamo stuff would get me out of there, right? And fuck this, I'm finding like an underpass to fucking sleep in.
Yeah.
But with the homeless community, maybe a good portion of them, if depending on what you pick, could trigger them to just like fucking start bugging people more. Or whatever.
maybe they're maybe it would just kind of make them more.
What
crazy,
would you
rage?
More homeless and crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it would make them. It would feed their soul. You know?
Yeah, because I remember thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna pick this type of music, but it wasn't for a homeless person. But what would you pick for a homeless person, Mariano? Like, what would your go-to be?
I think it depends on the area you're at too, right? What if I'm in South Texas?
Texas,
and I want to play country? I'm gonna have a bunch of people wanting to be there, right, to listen to it. If I'm in LA and I play country, I don't think it's going to be the same kind of people wanting to be there.
Right.
They probably won't want to listen to it.
Or they'll just be confused.
Or they'll be like, what the hell? Where are we?
You don't hear a lot of country out here.
No.
Mm-mm.
There's people
so what
like
if it's like La Brea over that way, like, you know?
Probably country. I guess I just don't like country. But yeah, I'd probably play country.
Yeah,
I feel like I would be okay with it. If it
You'd be good with country?
Yeah, I would be okay with country because
24/7?
I mean, it's relaxing. It's like, I mean, the tempo is nice and slow, typically, you know, good storyline here and there. It kind of like, you know, a lot of country songs, they're depressed in the song, you know.
Yeah, it's mostly depressing.
It's like, it's not the blues, but it kind of is like in that they talk about sad things.
Hardships.
And I feel like I could resonate and identify with the hardships that they're going through in the country music. Like I'd be an alcoholic and like there's a lot of alcoholic country. So I don't think that would work for me as a homeless person. It would have to be that fucking electronic music.
But it's working for homeless people with the classical. So I don't know, man. And then like I think it's also
in South
key.
Texas.
In South, yeah. Who knows?
It is in South Texas?
That's South Texas.
Oh, I could see it working in South Texas.
Yeah. Opera music?
Yeah.
Right in South Texas.
What the fuck is this shit, man?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Hey, man.
Come on, Cletus.
Come on, man. Don't put that Beethoven on me, man. Come on now.
I don't know about that Bach, man.
Oh, man. That Bach hard, man. Come on, man. All right. All right, look at this. Oh, shoot. Hold on. All right, I have a pretty interesting story here. This guy, it'd be really interesting if I could bring it up. Okay, here it is. Here's a man. I'm going to show you a picture of him. It says, the title of this article says, "The Man Who Lived and Died Without Ever Knowing What a Woman Looks Like."
Oh.
And here is a zoomed-in picture of him here. You can see he's dressed in a certain type of gown, and that's because he's a Greek Orthodox monk, which I didn't know that there were monks in Greece, but apparently there are. So there's this, I'll just read it. A Greek Orthodox monks, Mihailo Tolotos, lived his entire life of 82 years without ever seeing a woman due to the strict rule of the monastery he lived in Mount Athos, which banned women from entering. A law was passed in 1060 AD banning women and animals from Mount Athos. Even today, only male tourists are allowed inside the monastery, and monks are not allowed to shave, bathe, fight, argue, and ask what lies beyond the walls of the monastery. A bit like, North Korea. He was abandoned as an infant and adopted by the monastery and never left the walls of the monastery throughout his entire life. And here's this is his obituary right here.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, without ever seeing a woman in the 82 years of his life, Mihailo Toloto has died in Mount Athos. He never had beheld an automobile. He never seen a movie or an airplane. His mother died when he was born, and he was brought up there and never saw a woman. So, and
82, huh?
Yeah.
Damn.
There he is in that robe. This is what monks wear in Greece, I guess. Almost like
he looks
Catholic
like a warlock
robing. Yeah,
or something
right?
like that. Just for those of you listening.
He like a wizard or something.
Right? He looks like a wizard.
He looks like a wizard. Look at that wizard beard right there.
Yeah, and then the cane that could
And
be
the cane,
some
and
sort
that's
of,
the monastery right there.
oh my goodness.
It's on those giant
Damn.
stilts.
I
I don't know. You guys have any thoughts about it?
Well, I wish I can speak with the man. Just like to feel. I would love to see to gauge his happiness level, right? In comparison to the average person, the average man that does experience. And it's not just about knowing or meeting a woman or knowing what they look like or anything like that. The car part, the stress of the world. I just would want to see if he was happy.
Yeah.
Because part of it is like sometimes like when I've gone to Bel Air,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll get to the point here.
Yeah.
When I've gone through, like when I go to UCLA to watch a basketball game, I have to go through these gorgeous, just the amount of wealth that I'm passing. It's understandable to me. I feel, and maybe I need to work on this, but I feel like fucking shit sometimes. Like, oh, I will never have this.
I see what you're saying now.
So me, it's sometimes like if when I don't see that, it doesn't even cross my fucking mind. I don't feel a certain way about myself. I don't even think, oh, I'll never be able to know what that is, to own something like this, to even comprehend what it is to pay for something like this.
Right.
And I just get a little depressed sometimes.
Sure.
Maybe on my mood.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's why I'm more intrigued. And I was like, I wonder if he was like happy, because you don't know what you're missing.
Right.
And then I
No,
would love.
Yeah. Oh, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to... Well, I guess he'd be happy because he wouldn't know what's out there.
He's
only
not even
knows
allowed
the
to
happiness
ask.
that's here.
He does not even allowed to ask what goes on out there.
That would have been a
Can't
great
even ask.
experiment.
And he wasn't even given a choice whether he wanted to be a monk or not.
No,
he was
no.
adopted, raised into that lifestyle without any choice at all.
Yeah, and my question is, like, how did he end up? I mean, I know his mom died, but she didn't die in the monastery because she's not allowed there.
No.
I mean,
So maybe it was like a Willow situation where she pushed him out on a raft and it landed
Vagina to the raft.
Yeah, right. Bam, boom.
Yeah.
And then
They're right there washing their clothes in the rock, and then they're like, oh, look at
No,
baby.
but they weren't washing themselves because they're not allowed to bathe.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
that's right.
But I don't know if they can wash their clothes. I mean, that's incredible. The no bathing part, even.
Everything,
They can't.
dude.
They can't shave. Not bathe.
Okay.
Bathe.
Yeah.
You got some stinky butt.
Fight.
No, that's okay.
Argue.
Yeah.
Or ask what lies beyond the walls. And I mean,
Yeah, you could have no curiosity at all.
he didn't shave, but he cut his beard. It looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, he trimmed that.
So you
for
can
sure.
cut your beard,
but you just
but
can't
you
shave
can't
it off.
shave your face.
And you
Okay.
can't ask questions.
You can't ask what lie. I mean,
Now,
incredible,
question.
man.
We're the three wise men for this fucking guy. Aside from a woman
Mm.
and any like the sexual part of life, what would you guys take? One object to take to this guy and be like, all right, hey, we're allowing you three guys to enter because you're men, obviously.
Right.
And secondly, because you're super cool.
Right.
And we know assholes. But you could bring one item as a gift to this man. Now, keep in mind, he's never done this. He's never done that. He has no idea what's out there.
Right.
Or what the difference in between 1946 to 2023, dude. No fucking idea. What are you taking him?
My God. Let's see. And yeah, I guess I would take him. I would say that I would take him a phone, but I feel like it would make him sad.
You think it would make him sad?
I do, because he would just be looking at that, and just like us looking at the phones, it doesn't make us happy,
No.
I guess I would just take him a woman.
But if you take him,
No, you can't. Though.
I can't take him.
No, I said leaving a woman and anything sexual aside, and he could be into men for all we know. I don't know.
Oh yeah, what if you took him a woman? He's like, I like guys, and you're like, oh,
Damn it!
there goes my.
But like
one
an
gift.
object, what would you take him? Like a skateboard, even. I'm just looking around the room,
Fuck,
like
dude.
a car, or
I don't know, man. I know what I would take him.
What?
I would take him something that he could play music on. If they don't have that there.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I'd
I
feel
guess
like
a record player, just because I feel like that would be easy. It wouldn't be too overwhelming for him.
And then what
You know,
record?
The only thing I wouldn't do was bring classical music or opera, because then he would flee the fucking monastery. Apparently.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I'd be the devil. I'd give him the tablet, something so he could see what's outside.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Mariano's
yeah?
the devil.
Yeah, I'm the devil.
Tablet.
Yeah.
But
I just
there's-
feel bad for him. I feel bad for him. The
but-
poor guy, never seen a woman, never seen outside the walls. How much fun could there be inside those
But don't you
walls?
think that you might ruin his life? Because he still can't leave after you give him the tablet.
Oh, he can't go anywhere?
No, he's strapped there. So you can
Oh.
bring him something, assuming they don't have anything in there, right?
Mhm.
They have food, maybe.
Yeah.
They don't have razors. So, yeah, I think I would. If you bring him a tablet, I
Would he
think
even want it?
He would just masturbate for the rest of his life.
Or
you
would he
know?
even want it? Like the Buddhist monks are taught to not ask for any other objects. They don't have any worldly possessions because they don't need anything.
Right.
They just get whatever people donate to them, and that's their happiness.
All right. So, Mariano's bringing a tablet.
Yeah.
What are you going to bring?
Devil.
Drugs.
Oh, fuck, man. Why didn't I think of that?
Bring in the
Yeah.
shrooms.
Psychedelics.
Psychedelics.
Yes.
Stimulate your
And I
mind,
would
man.
I would want somehow to see what he sees, because I think the part about psychedelics is when it has a lot to do with your experiences, right? And so you see things that you might have seen, or you visit places in your mind that you've been there before, or maybe not, but you've seen in books or the internet. For somebody that's been so isolated and doesn't know anything, dude, like I'd be interested to see what his imagination comes up with when he's hallucinating, right? Even that would be interesting.
Yeah.
His trip would be interesting to me. And I wish I can be like, here you go. They're going to plug these in here.
Mhm.
Let's see what happens. I wish that was something that would possible.
Wow.
I
I,
would
wonder
do
what he
that.
would see.
Or would it be boring and just whatever's inside the walls?
I somehow
The bricks are moving. I don't know, man.
brick.
Yeah.
The other brick.
Yeah. Here's the pigeon that flies to me every day.
Yeah. Oh, it's,
Oh,
The
God.
trimming from my beard's on the ground.
yeah,
Like,
my beard is breathing. Yeah. Thanks,
yeah, I don't
Louis.
know, man.
I
I know, man. It sounded
Yeah.
cooler when I said it.
Yeah, I feel like you just need something to stimulate your mind, right? I mean, something to open
Yeah.
your mind up to, like you said, psychedelics or something like a tablet so you could see things. I mean, how exciting is the internet? You could spend hours and hours on YouTube, right? Just watching whatever.
Yeah, man.
Just
Yeah.
stimulating your mind. I feel like, yeah.
He's
staring
like,
inside
how
a
to
wall.
be a better monk.
Yeah. How to grow a cooler beard.
All right.
All right,
Should I
baby
get
doll.
into the baby doll or what?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me pull it up here. All right, so the baby doll of the week is Lamont Thomas. And why is he the baby doll? This man from Buffalo, New York, adopted 5 siblings to keep him together. Zendaya 5, Jamal 4, Nakia 3. Believe it or not, Major, he's 2.
Major?
Yeah, that's the name.
Okay.
And Michaela 1, so they can stay
Sounds
up
different
and,
than the
yeah,
other names.
and grow together. So for the last 15 years, Thomas has fostered more than 30 kids. He did so as a single parent with all his heart. So There's not much detail as to like the
Does it
kids.
say how
and all
old they
that.
are?
Yeah, so 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1. So
Oh,
the parents
wow.
were busy.
They were super busy.
Yeah, right, back to back to back to back.
Do you think that they went to the orphanage and dropped them all off at the same time, or they
Dude.
were just dropping them off one at a time?
Well, I don't think it could also be that they weren't
Or they
dropped
died?
off. It could be that, or they were just like they were taken away, maybe because they were, But
Lots of possibilities.
lots of possibilities, man. And I've known some kids that go through foster homes and they don't turn out well,
Mm-mm.
and they've been good kids, but it doesn't turn out well. And this guy kept them all together. And I can think of a specific group of kids that I grew up with that then ended up being split up, and one of them's not even alive anymore, and it was sad. And they were good kids, I felt, but life treated them like shit a little bit. So
Yeah.
when I hear stories like this, I go like, "Fuck, man, I don't know." I mean, I couldn't do it, even if I had the money.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, "Man, that's a big commitment." And
Yeah.
and people like to talk a lot and be like, "Yeah, I would." fucking
actually
adapt."
adopts.
Yeah.
We're actually thinking of adopting. No, you're not, you
No,
fucking
man.
asshole. Don't tell me that.
Yeah,
I've
no.
never. I'm just saying. Of all the people that I've met, you're gonna have kids. No, actually, we're thinking of adopting. I've never. Not one of them has actually done it. I don't know anyone that's done it.
Yeah.
I know
And
one person that adopted, and she told everyone, "Don't ever adopt,"
Oh shit!
Did
really?
she give
Like-
you a reason why?
because the kid ended up having a lot of problems.
How old was
Because
the
they don't
kid?
tell you the history, and you don't know the history of the parents, right?
Right,
They just,
right.
hey, there's a baby. You
Yeah.
want it? Take it.
Yeah.
So I guess the kid ended up having very bad behavioral issues. Almost burned the house down. They had to make sure to lock the door at night to make sure the kid didn't do anything at night. But it was like they said they went through hell and back with that kid.
Did they keep Did they keep him, or they ended up?
No, they kept him. They
kept
kept
him.
him because
I'm
no
sure
takebacks.
I'm sure you have to, right? You can't
You
bring
can't-
him back like
no,
in
you
the
can't give him
movies.
back. Like, here you go. Ah, it didn't work
You don't
out.
think
Take
there's
him back.
you don't think there's a period where they monitor how you're doing with the kid, and then they see if you're fit to do it, and also there maybe a take back period.
Right, like a 30, like if you have the receipt or
Yeah,
something?
something like that,
30
yeah.
days.
Yeah.
You have to have
But
the
let's just say
receipt.
6
Right.
months.
Yeah.
If you're because I think it should be a thing. I don't know if it is or isn't, but if I were in charge of the adopting situation, and I would say, all right, we're not stupid here. We understand that you're going from no experience being a parent, and yet also no real connection with this kid yet, to just like he or she is in your house. So we're going to be on a trial period for 6 months, and then we're gonna ask you. We're gonna interview the kid,
Mhm.
interview you. How are you feeling? Is this for you? If not,
Yeah.
better to handle it within that first
it's,
year.
It's tough, right?
Yeah, because if they're babies, though, you're not going to know anything about that baby until
Yeah.
they're like older.
And
They're
your
7,
your
8,
friend
9, 10.
adopted a baby,
And they adopted a baby.
and
So
they still had behavioral problems
later, yeah, they didn't know when as they grew up, these things started coming out, and the kids started having these behavioral issues.
That's
and then
wild.
they just had to deal with it, and they were just, they had to hire a caregiver to kind of watch them while they're around to make sure they don't do the kid didn't do anything in the house or to any other siblings, things like that.
Right.
Yeah, so
That's crazy.
Yeah, because of course, like, it's like anything. It's harder to adopt the older they get. If for anything, dogs, it's harder to adopt older dogs because how have they been treated up to this
Yeah.
point? Are they aggressive? You don't know anything about the dogs, right? Like Moon is a rescue dog,
Mhm.
and then so that's why the people usually adopt younger children. So 5 is already pretty old. I think pretty old to adopt, right? And 4, 3, 2,
Yeah.
1.
I think 5. I mean, I don't know what my
There's
limit
like
is.
an age, like you see it in the movies where like they're not picking you anymore.
yeah.
So sad, man.
Sad.
I'm sure when they're in high school, they're like, nah, I'm not taking a high schooler. It's bad enough.
If he's 7'1" and has athletic ability, I'll take him.
Louis wants athletes, dude.
Yeah. I'll take a Shaq. You know what I mean?
He's going pro. He's going pro.
Yeah.
Stop buying those lottery tickets. No, I mean, I don't know, man. I admire people like this because I know that I couldn't do it.
Those people are special people, man.
Yeah, man. And
Yeah,
they
they're
really
charts.
have a good heart. And something like where it's like, I sometimes go like, when I see those videos online where they tell the little girl that she's being adopted, she opens the box, and there is a paperwork, and she starts reading, and then she goes like, I'm being adopted, and she jumps and I was like, I just start crying and whatever.
Yeah.
But then, like, then you hear this stuff, and then you're like, then she burnt down the house 6 months later. Like,
Yeah.
That's
Just like anything, there's always going to be two sides. You're going to hear the good, but then you're going to hear the bad. And not to say that there's always going to be bad, but it's possible. And the stories are out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's also possible that, like you have a shitty kid, right?
Yeah, you could have your own kid and it's shitty.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure we know a lot of those guys.
I was just thinking, like, if I have my own kid, who's to say, oh, no, he's going to be great. Like,
dude,
fucking
but I mean, if you have your own kid and they burn down your own house.
With you in it.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, what a disappointment.
Well, no one's looking at the kid, I'll tell you that much.
Right?
They're looking right at you.
Like, what did you not do?
Yeah, every shitty kid that I knew came from, like, a pretty bad home.
It almost seems like, man, when they take the kids away and they go into the system, as bad as the parents are, it just seems like it's worse to go into this. It's like I would just rather stay with my really abusive parents, I feel like, than get lost in the system.
Well, it's that feeling of rejection forever, right? I mean, at least if you stayed with your shitty parents, you just understand they're your shitty parents, but you feel like they probably loved you because they still kept you.
Right, at least they kept you, or, if it's that type of situation, then they didn't die.
Yeah.
But, dude, it's also like if you go into the system, you get put in situations. Like, we get put in situations, I mean, less and less now as adults, but you get put in situations when you just hang out with a fucking knucklehead. Just hanging out and coming from a good home. You're just like, hey, man, like, you're hanging out, all of a sudden, something goes wrong, man. This guy decided to throw something out a window for no goddamn reason, or steal something, you're with him, or tell you that he laced the fucking joint that you guys were smoking. Yeah. Anything can happen. And that when you put a kid in a situation in a foster home where he's permanently there and there's, like, shitty kids doing that all the time, dude, what is he supposed to do? It's kind of hard.
It's not. I'm right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Tough,
it's
man.
not the kid. You're just in that environment. You can't escape it.
Yeah. So the kids that I knew ended up in gangs, and they weren't. I knew them as little kids. I was a kid, and we were the same age, and not a good mother, no father around. I always felt there were better kids than me. And then next thing you know, I would see them because we would keep in touch, and every time I would see the one that was my age, they got split up, and then they were in gangs, and he fucking tattoo in the face, tattoo in the head, like shaved head. And I was like, fuck, dude, what happened?
Yeah.
Looking for acceptance. That's what happened.
Well, for sure.
Everywhere.
Exactly, dude. Yeah. This is my family.
But isn't it interesting when you go, like, you get into junior high and high school, and you watch everyone go take these, you're like, oh, shit, he went fucking.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah,
You didn't see it. Like we were friends last year, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you see him, that something happens in the summer, they get hit by a lightning bolt, and then they come back to school and you're like, oh shit, dude. Fucking Jose went this way.
Just like that.
This guy's going that way.
Yeah.
I want to go this way, but I definitely can't go that way,
Yeah, I don't want to dress goth. I can't hang out with that guy anymore.
Yeah, oh, this guy went to Hot Topic all summer. Well, we can't fucking hang out anymore, you know?
When you witness things, like I remember this guy named Sammy, dude. And he was a skinny fucking kid, and he was like somewhat borderline nerdy, and he just lived across the street from one of my good friends, so we would invite him over. We used to just smoke and play fucking guitar or whatever. And this guy, I still remember, he's like, no, I've never tried it before. Like, stop being a bitch. And he smoked. It wasn't me that did it, but I was there. And then...
But you had a little part.
I had a little part, I guess.
There's some peer pressure
I was there.
I'm sure there's peer pressure there.
And then next thing you know, within a summer, dude, it's that fast. Within a summer, he's doing pills. He's doing all kinds of shit. Damn, I never even fucking tried. Dude. Damn. So you see like how you're like
see how you ruin people's lives first-handedly.
Yeah. You could do anything to someone to make them do what you want.
It wasn't me. I was.
You can see how we fucked up this kid's life all of a sudden.
By hanging out with people like me.
Yeah. So I see that shit's scary, man. And then like if I have a kid, like I know that's a possibility because you've seen it, man. You're like, I hope he can keep it together. But anyways, Lamont Thomas, you are the baby doll of the week. All right, guys, thanks for listening. And real quick, if you guys know anybody that wants to stay young Show him this episode.
If you guys know anyone that grew up in a monastery and had never seen a woman in his entire life, show him this episode.
If you know anybody that likes torturing homeless people with opera music,
Show them this episode. All right, guys. See you next week.
Nailed it.